How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I want to talk to you about driving for Uber. As you know, I'm pretty on top of my finances, having like credit card videos and how to build net worth and stuff like that. So when I look at Uber, I look at how much does it cost me to drive for it. I actually don't drive for Uber and I have never done it. I just wanted to analyze how much you can earn. You can get like a couple $100, $1,000. Most of the time people are smart enough to factor in gas because you pay that immediately. However, maybe some people would actually factor in the maintenance car of the car itself and also maybe the car depreciation. Looking at it on the surface, if you drive a brand new car with Uber, you're most likely gonna break even or make something really little, like $2 to $3 an hour after you factor in the depreciation of cost of everything, the maintenance costs and everything. So you're not gonna earn very much. But there's a lot of report out there saying, oh yeah, I earn so and so, thanks Uber or whatnot. That is only because you are extracting money out of your car. You can think of it as you have a brand new car you're driving around. You depreciated it by driving people around. So you actually have to put work in for $2, $3 an hour to exchange the value in your car into cash that you can use today. So in a sense, it's kind of like a payday advance thing. In payday advance, you have anticipated payday and you can get some payment before even your payday, except you have to give it some fees and stuff. For Uber, it's kind of like getting an advance on the value of your car. You think you're earning that money, but that chunk of cash is actually the value in the car that you're just kind of digging it out of the car. If you drive an Uber car, let's say full-time for 3 years, you're going to kill your car. Your car will likely not work at the end of 3 very intensive years driving with Uber. And let's just say you bought the car for $30,000, $40,000, and yes, maybe you were able to make 30, 40K. By the time you subtract the depreciation cost of the car, you have to take some money and buy a new car. In the end, you're going to be earning really little, like kind of less than minimum wage with Uber. So make sure you don't actually use a brand new car if you do decide to drive for Uber. That is probably the best way to do a lot of work and spin your wheels and make it feel like you're actually making progress, but you're not actually making any real money. You're just taking money from the value of the car and turning it into cash, but then you're not getting paid from somewhere else. You're just taking it from your own value of the car. So that's just a realization I have. So it's really, you think of Uber as a ride-sharing business, but you can also think of it as a car value advance business. But the active conversion of that value in your car into cash, you actually have to work to do that conversion versus a paycheck advance. You just go in some store and then you pay the fee and then you get it, right? It doesn't take you that long, maybe 5-10 minutes or something. However, with the Uber, you actually have to put time in, maybe your extra time, to withdraw that money from the value of your car. So Uber actually has a huge following, right? Because it's a 60 billion valuation company or something like that right now. And it has a huge fleet of cars that are owned not by Uber. All the depreciation is on the users. So if you look at credit card companies, they have this huge vast network infrastructure and they take a percentage out of every transaction. So Uber is kind of like that because they're actually not taking the value out of the car in terms of depreciation. The user, the Uber driver, is depreciating their car and they're taking the value out of their car and putting it in their pocket. Now, during that transaction, the rider pays the driver, and some of it goes in the driver, some of it goes towards Uber. And so you can almost think of it as every single driver, they're taking value out of the car and putting it into their own pockets. They're getting a little bit of value from the rider, and then a bunch of the money from the rider goes to Uber. So Uber is kind of like a transactional receiver for this service. The driver provides a service and it's kind of like self-contained, except Uber gets to sit over here and take a cut from this transaction. And so the more drivers you have, the more cut you can get. For me, looking at this, it's a really bad deal if you drive a new car. It has to be not too old, usually around like 2001. But if you buy a car that's 2001, it could be likely that maybe a year or two later you can no longer use it with the service. So you gotta have a good margin of safety. The best thing is to drive a used car with Uber with a bit of margin of safety. I don't know, get like 2005. It varies by the city. Also, the maintenance costs, if you do that yourself, you can save a lot of money, and in that sense you are kind of earning money from doing your own car maintenance work. So you're pocketing that rather than paying it out. In a sense, it's like if you have your own car and you drive it not for Uber and you do your own car repair, you also save a lot of money. So it's just another way to save money, and saving money, same thing as earning more money. I hope you understand this perspective, and after you watch this video you're gonna go, oh yeah, of course I should not buy a new car to drive Uber. And make note that if you do drive for it, you're going to make very little after you factor everything in. Car depreciation, which you cannot immediately tell. You will only notice after a few years. And you know, a lot of people are out there, they're starting to notice and they're protesting and saying, oh my gosh, you can't earn a living wage and etc. So I hope you like this perspective on driving for Uber and kind of know what you're getting into before you actually get into it. This is Beat the Bush. Don't forget to give me a like, comment over here down below, and don't forget to subscribe over here. Thanks for watching.